I can still make the whole place shimmer. I don't know about you, but every single one of my social media feeds has been full of posts from the Taylor Swift Eras Tour since March. Now, I'm going to one of the last stops on this tour, but something that's been keeping me excited is seeing everyone's creativity in putting together their concert outfits and accessories, and even doing a little DIY, which inspired today's video, where I'll be creating Taylor Swift Eras inspired press-on nails using my Cricut machine. Now, I have made a video in the past about making nail decals with the Cricut, and it's honestly one of my favorite ways to use this machine because I'm just not a big crafter in general. I'm super excited that Cricut wanted to sponsor this video so I can share with you the step-by-step tutorial on how to create these nails. Now, this may be the only time in history we're gonna be able to do this because Taylor Swift currently has 10 studio albums, not counting the Taylor's versions, which means one album or era, if you will, for each nail. So let me show you the process of creating DIY press-on nails using the Cricut. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. So let's go over everything I'm using today. The machine I have is the Cricut Explore 3, but you can do this on any Cricut you already have or that's in your budget. The smaller Cricut Joy would also do this project perfectly. I'm using a mix of Cricut vinyl. I have a couple tubes of their smart vinyl and some sheets of premium glossy vinyl that came in a sampler pack. You'll need a grip mat. You can see my light blue one there. Optional but super helpful is the Cricut vinyl cutter to make even cuts, as well as the Cricut tweezers. These are like reverse tweezers that you squeeze to open, so they actually stay closed by default. To work smarter, not harder, I got a pack of multicolor nails on Amazon. That way you don't have to worry about having 10 different polish colors. This was super affordable and the shades were perfect for eras. I also have these nail stands, which are gonna make the whole process easier, so the nail will be propped up hands-free. And then if you really want your decals to last, you'll wanna have a gel top coat and an LED light. First step is picking out the nails I'll be using, and I have the nails representing each album in chronological order from Debut to Midnights. Next, I'm gonna start prepping my vinyl. I wanna be able to cut all my decals at the same time, so I'm cutting 1-inch strips of each color I want to use, and I'll be arranging them all on my grip mat to feed them into my Cricut machine in one go. This is where the vinyl cutter tool comes in super handy because you can measure and cut them out evenly. Once that's done, I'm moving into the Cricut desktop app. I prefer designing on my computer, but they do also have a free mobile app that you can use, and y'all, I really wanna drive home, I'm not a Cricut expert. This is super beginner friendly, no design experience necessary. So I clicked the new project button in the upper right hand corner. Now the great thing about the Cricut Design Space app is it has a bunch of images and fonts you can use for your project, so you can really do all the designing and sourcing within the app itself. In the left hand menu, you can click images and search whatever it is you're looking for. There are literally hundreds of thousands of options right here in the app. Some designs you can buy, or just check the free filter on the left to pull up all the free to use images. For my project though, I actually have images saved to my computer that I want to use. I found them on a site called flaticon.com. I'll link all of them in the description if you want to use the same ones. So if you have something on your computer you want to use as a Cricut cut, head to the Upload tab in the left menu. You can see I already loaded them in, but what you'll do is click on the Upload Image button and click on the image file to import. Then you're going to select Simple Image Type since it's a silhouette. There's no background to remove, so you can skip this screen. Then hit Cut Image, add a title or folder, and then click Upload. I've already done this, so I'm just gonna go back to that upload screen, which will show everything that I've imported, and click them all, and then add to canvas. At first, it's gonna pull them all on top of each other, so you'll want to drag them out into the empty space. Now, because these are going to be really tiny, I actually want to get rid of any negative space detail that's going to just be too small to cut. So for example, on this cat, I'm going to go into the Contour tab at the bottom right-hand corner and select the triangle that makes up the nose. This gets rid of that cut, so it's a true silhouette. This part comes from experience and knowing how small and detailed the machine can cut when you're working with decals this size. Some of the details I will keep, just depending on the intricacy. Then slide and drag the corner in to make them smaller. Now, the size all depends on how large of a nail you're working with. For me, between 0.22 and 0.3 was the sweet spot for most of these shapes. So again, with the Statue of Liberty, I'm gonna get rid of the white space so that it's all just one solid shape, and same goes for the champagne illustration and so on. The only ones where I'm leaving the negative space are the heart glasses and the guitar opening because they're pretty essential to the shape, and they're just big enough that I think the machine can do it. And it doesn't matter how the shapes are arranged on this page just yet. So next I'm going in the upper corner and clicking the green Make It button and then selecting the On Matte option. On this page, you're going to get a preview of how the decals are actually going to be cut. I want to arrange these by nail just to make it easier on myself. You'll remember I cut out inch-wide strips of vinyl, so each inch-wide section is going to be a different color. So I'm just dragging the icons so they all belong to their own little inch-wide section. Some of them I'm dragging down onto the second row, and you'll see why in a second. Now I'm going to leave this alone on my computer and move back to my vinyl, and I'm referencing the arrangement I have on my computer screen and laying down the strips of vinyl based on what color I want the decals. Now some of these I have two colors in one column, one on just the top row and then a long strip. This was for the nails where I wanted to use two different color decals, but I just kept them in the same column so I knew they belonged to the same nail. You may have a more streamlined way to do this, but this just made sense in my brain. The main reason I cut longer strips is if I needed to recut any shapes, like if I got the sizing wrong, I don't have to cut a new piece of vinyl. I can just drag the icon down on my computer and use the same piece. Also, I wanted to point out that I did swap out a few colors from that first clip because I changed my mind about them. Okay, back to the software. I'm clicking the green Continue button on the bottom right. It connects to my Cricut through Bluetooth, and then we're setting the material. Now, while I do have some smart vinyl on the mat, most of the vinyl is actually the premium glossy vinyl, so I'm just gonna select that and it'll cut the smart vinyl just fine. As long as you're using official Cricut materials, it'll cut perfectly. Then it's going to instruct you to load the mat into the machine. So I'm lining up the mat inside the machine, feeding it in, and then hitting this button on the right. It'll pull it in and adjust it for cutting, and when it's ready, the start button will flash, hit it, and watch it do its thing. So now it will do the actual cutting, and don't worry if it's not going in order, it will get to each shape. When it's done, you hit that first button again and you can see we have our decals cut and ready to be put on nails. This is where those Cricut tweezers come in really handy. They pick up and hold on to your decal securely while you're placing it for precision. So with each shape, I'm just peeling up the vinyl, grabbing the decal with the tweezers and placing it on the nail, tapping down the edges with my finger. You may have noticed that there are a few shapes that you saw earlier on my computer that I did end up swapping out or adding to. This was definitely a go with the flow project. As I saw it come together, I'd get different ideas or change my mind about one of the symbols, but this is what the final arrangements looked like. And if you're unfamiliar, these symbols refer to imagery from Taylor's albums. They may refer to a song or a lyric or just the general vibe. Now, I recommend using a gel top coat. This will make your nails look a little more polished. I love this one from Red Carpet Manicure because it's super glossy and on the thicker side. This is an optional step, but adding a top coat gives a glossy finish over the entire nail, so you get less of a sticker effect with the decals, and they will last longer and they won't peel up. However, I want to caution that if you use any type of vinyl with a glitter finish, like I did with the purple dress decal, it flattens it out into more of a metallic look. But that was the only change I saw. All of the glossy vinyl looked great under the top coat. So I do a nice even layer on each nail, and then I cured each set for about 5 minutes in 60-second intervals just because I did put down a thick layer. After they're cured, I'm just tapping to see if any of my nails feel sticky. Like I said, I applied a thick layer of top coat, so there may be excess that just won't cure. And to fix that, you can just use rubbing alcohol on a cotton ball and wipe them down. That'll get rid of any sticky feeling. Now, it's a good idea to do this around the edges of each nail anyway, just in case any top coat ended up on the underside and just didn't get cured. And we are finally at our last step, actually applying the nails. You can do this 2 ways, with nail glue, which will definitely last you longest and be more secure, or you can make them true press-ons with adhesive stickers. Again, you can get these on Amazon, and this is the route I'm going today. So I'm removing the nails from the stands, and you didn't see this earlier, but they're stuck on there with putty, but it scrapes off really easily. Then I'm placing the sticker to the bottom of the nail and using the pointed part of a wooden nail stick to flatten it out against the nail. Okay, I lied earlier. This is the real last step. Once all the nails are prepped with stickers, I peel off the protective plastic and press them on my nails. I like to hold pressure on the nail for about 30 seconds to really make sure it's on there. But I will say, if you opt for using the adhesive stickers instead of nail glue, it does make the nails easier to reuse if you want to wear them again later. And these are the finished DIY Taylor Swift Eras inspired nails. I'm so stoked about how these came out, and I'm definitely going to try to keep them in good shape until my show in August, which is why I went with the stickers instead of gluing them on today. Now, if you want more options, I do have a blog post featuring 10 drugstore nail kits with press-ons that are already designed and ready to apply that channel different Taylor Swift eras that you can buy at the drugstore. I will leave that link below. And as always, all of the products and tools that I mentioned today will be linked in the description. If you are a Swiftie, I want to know, what is your favorite Taylor Swift era? Personally, mine is Speak Now, so I'm very excited for Taylor's version. Or if you're a Cricut crafter, what is your favorite thing to make? Let me know it all in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Jacqueline. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad, and join me over in this video next where I share 5 new drugstore makeup favorites of mine that I cannot stop using. I'll see you over there. Bye!